Y'all, grab your popcorn because the tea we're about to spill is piping hot and has been simmering for over a decade. Just when you thought the drama between Mashonda, Alicia Keys, and Swizz Beatz was buried and done, it's BACK and it's hotter than ever. Mashonda is talking again, and this time, she's not just playing the peaceful co-parent card. Nope, she's dropping some heavy hints, drawing lines, and bringing out the receipts. Yeah, y'all heard that right. She's got some things to say. It's about to shake up the whole narrative we've been fed. For years, Mashonda, Swizz, and Alicia put on this perfect blended family, front-smiling, attending family. Dinners looking like the epitome of harmony. But now, the mask is slipping, and the truth. Well, it's about to be ugly. Let's rewind for a second. Do y'all remember when Mashonda and Swizz's divorce was the topic of conversation? Alicia was the woman who was allegedly involved with Swizz while he was still married to Mashonda. Yet suddenly, we're all watching them at award shows, hanging out together, like one big happy family. It didn't make sense, and now, well, sources close to Mashonda say she was just holding it together for her son, but behind the scenes, things were far from okay. She was hurting, and as her son gets older, she's realizing she doesn't need to keep quiet anymore. We were all led to believe everything was healed, that Mashonda was just this evolved woman who had made peace with her ex-husband's betrayal. But what if it was all a survival tactic? The timeline of it all? Shady. Swizz and Alicia met as teens. But things didn't really heat up until 2008 when they collaborated on a music project. That's when Alicia started to fall for Swizz. The tea, they were seeing each other while Swizz was still married. Yes, still married. Alicia even moved into the same house they shared while she worked with Swizz. How convenient, huh? And what's worse? Insiders say Alicia made sure the media caught her and Swizz together just to let Mashonda know, he's mine now. Can you imagine the betrayal Mashonda felt? It was a power move. And that wasn't all. Alicia, being the queen of subtlety, played it cool, never acknowledging the homewrecker title. While Swizz acted like the whole thing was not a big deal, but Mashonda couldn't stay quiet for long. And y'all, remember that open letter Mashonda wrote to Alicia? It was a gut punch. Mashonda said it all, you know what you did. You helped end my marriage. She was done trying to be the bigger person. She'd been trying to reach Alicia for years. And what did she get in return? Silence. And now, years later, Mashonda's revealing more of what we didn't see. While everyone thought she was being gracious for the sake of her son, sources say she was privately devastated. And that's not something you just get over. Then came the whole rebranding Mashonda. Alicia and Swizz acting like the perfect co-parents. But let's be real. It seemed like too much of a fairy tale, like something was missing. And now Mashonda's dropping clues left and right that she was never truly okay with how everything went down. People close to her are saying she was just playing nice because her son was young. But as he's grown older, she's finally facing the truth. She's not afraid to speak up. Mashonda has even said herself, it's not natural to be okay until everyone is fully healed. And at that stage, I wasn't. Can you imagine the emotional weight of that? To be living in a situation where you have to smile, pretend, and keep it together for the kids while you're still carrying all that pain. It's a lot. The internet never forgets, and social media detectives have been digging into this drama. For years, they've pieced together old tweets, interviews, and IG posts that make things look even messier. Alicia's image as this perfect woman, untouched by scandal, has been questioned. Fans have found shady moments that suggest Alicia's whole public persona was built on a shaky foundation. And people are starting to question how much of that narrative is true. Then there's Swizz, who barely catches any heat for his part in this. Why is that? Why is Alicia the villain, but he gets a pass? One fan wrote, Alicia stole that woman's husband and had the nerve to brand herself as a spiritual queen. After Please. And they're not the only ones thinking it. Now, here's where it gets really juicy. Mashonda has hinted at a possible memoir. Yeah, you heard that, Rita Talil. And if she decides to spill the full tea, y'all, it's going to flip this whole happy family narrative upside down. Can you imagine the bombshells she could drop? You know people are waiting on pins and needles to hear what she has to say. So let's break it down. Was Mashonda really at peace, or was she just playing the role of the strong woman for the sake of her son? Did Alicia deserve all the hate she got, or was she just a woman who fell in love? And what about Swizz? He's the one who broke his vows, but somehow he gets to walk away unscathed while the two women get dragged through the mud. But the biggest question is this: is it finally Mashonda's time to tell her story? Her truth, unfiltered and unapologetic. 'Cause one thing's for sure, if she does, it's going to be a game changer. The world's been waiting for her to reclaim her voice, and I think it's coming. So, what do you think? Let's talk about it in the comments. Do you believe Mashonda was truly at peace, or was she just playing the long game? Does Alicia deserve all the hate, or is she just another woman caught in a messy love triangle? And is it time for Mashonda to finally let the world know how she really feels? Drop your thoughts below and let's discuss. And don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring that bell, because trust me, this drama is far from over. The tea is still hot, y'all. Stay tuned for the next chapter. Now, y'all, just when you thought this saga couldn't get any messier, here comes a twist nobody saw coming. Rumors are now swirling that the happy family energy we've seen between Alicia, Swizz, and Mashonda was being carefully orchestrated behind the scenes. Word is, this whole picture-perfect co-parenting act was less about healing and more about damage control. Think about it. Alicia's image took a major hit when the affair rumors exploded. She went from beloved soul-singing queen to the other woman in the blink of an eye. Her brand was built on empowerment and honesty, but suddenly she was being accused of breaking up a family. So, what better way to clean that up than to present a united front with the very woman she was accused of betraying? And listen, this might just be the wildest part yet. Industry insiders are now claiming that there were contracts involved. Non-disclosure agreements, alleged silence payments. One anonymous source said there were things Mashonda wasn't allowed to say. Things that were negotiated, y'all. If that's true, that means this wasn't just about forgiveness. It was about strategy, about protecting reputations, about making sure the public didn't see the full extent of what went down behind closed doors. And if Mashonda is finally speaking again, what does that mean? Has the contract expired? Has she just reached a point where she doesn't care anymore? Because, baby, when a woman holds her tongue for years and then decides she's ready to speak, you better believe what comes out is going to shake the table. Meanwhile, fans are starting to revisit Alicia's lyrics with a side eye. From Karma. Too unthinkable. People are asking, was she singing about Swizz? Was she low-key bragging about the affair? One TikTok creator even posted a breakdown of her 2010 album, claiming it's basically a soundtrack to the scandal. And the comments? Explosive. People are reanalyzing everything. One user wrote, "She wasn't hiding it. She was singing it loud. We just didn't want to believe it." Another said, "Now I feel dirty for singing along to these songs knowing what was really going on." The power of hindsight, y'all. It's giving new meaning to every beat, every lyric, every award speech. Now let's talk about Swizz Beatz for a second, because we really need to ask, why isn't he catching any of this heat? He's the common denominator. He was married. He made vows. Yet somehow Alicia's the one who gets dragged. And Mashonda is the one who's expected to forgive and smile through it all. Swizz just gets to drop beats and post vacation pics. Where's the accountability, y'all? And what message does? That's send. That women should carry the emotional labor while the man moves on unbothered. We're not buying that anymore. It's time we talk about the way we let men slide while expecting women to either play victim or peacemaker. No in between. Now, let's circle back to Mashonda, because in a recent interview, and y'all, I had to rewind this part twice, she said something that hit me right in the chest. She said, "I wasn't okay. I had to act okay. I had to smile when I wanted to cry." Baby, that's not healing. That's survival. That's a woman who was told, don't make a scene. Don't ruin the moment. Just be graceful. And she did it not because she was over it, but because she had to be strong for her child. But now the strength looks different. The strength is in speaking her truth, not for revenge, but for closure. And honestly, y'all, she deserves that. And let's not forget, Mashonda once said in her 2018 memoir that she regretted the way she called out Alicia publicly. But hear me out. Was that regret? Or was that repression? Was she trying to convince herself it was? The high road, when deep down she was still bleeding from a wound that never really healed? The more you hear her talk now, the more it sounds like she's done pretending. And can we blame her? She had to co-parent with the very woman who, allegedly, was sneaking around with her. Her husband in the same house they all shared. Do you know how insane that is? That's not just heartbreak. That's betrayal with a smile on its face. But here's where it gets even deeper. Because now fans are speculating that Mashonda is gearing up to take back her power in a big way. We're talking documentaries, speaking engagements, and yes, possibly even a Netflix tell-all. One insider hinted that she's been approached by multiple platforms because people are ready to hear her side, the real side. And y'all know, when the woman who was silent for over 10 years decides to speak, it's not going to be soft, not going to be sweet. It's going to be raw, unfiltered, and emotional. And I'm here for every single minute of it. So the question now is, what happens next? If Mashonda does break her silence, how will Alicia respond? Will Swizz finally take some responsibility? Or will they both retreat into silence and pretend like the past never happened? Because, let's be clear, this isn't just about celebrity, drama. This is about power, image, healing, and most importantly, truth. Mashonda's story is the story of so many women. Women who've been betrayed, silenced, and then expected to put on a smile and act like everything's okay just for the comfort of others. But not anymore. Now, women are reclaiming their narratives. They're standing in their truth. And Mashonda might be next in line to do just that. And when she does, oh baby, the industry's not ready. So let me ask you again, was the blended family narrative real? Or just PR damage control? And more importantly, are we finally ready to hold Swizz Beatz accountable for the part he played in this mess? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because I know y'all have something to say about this one. Make sure you like this video, subscribe for more of the realest breakdowns, and hit that bell because trust, this story isn't finished. In fact, I think we're just getting started. The tea is still hot, and something tells me the next chapter, it's gonna be explosive.